Hello everyone. It's a great honor to be here on this stage and with all the young blood. Let's see where it goes. So today we are here for Unfiltered Dialogues, a place where we have design which we can discuss honestly, without any polish, without any pretense, and we do it without the fear of disagreement. So it is not going to be a panel, it is going to be a conversation. So let's hit it off. So quickly, everyone give like super quick introduction to the Arjun. The seniority always works, huh? Always. English क्यों नहीं चाहिए? वापस देना पड़ेगा. बटन बंद और नजर नीचे.
नमस्कार, मेरा नाम वास्तु दिवाकर भाटी है. मैं आयोजन
You can give name of performance.
मेरे फर्म का नाम दिवाकर भाटी आर्किटेक्ट्स है. थैंक यू.
मेरा नाम
हेलो,
मेरा नाम रवि धूत है. मेरी कंपनी डीएवी निर्माण एसोसिएट है.
हेलो एवरीवन.
Yes.
मेरा नाम गौरव खत्री है. मैं आयोजन विद्यालय वास्तुकला से इंट्रोडक्शन दे दिया मैंने. एंड we are running a small studio over here, Vastu Bricks, and that's it. Thank you.
I have the beauty of speaking English because I'm not bilingual. I'm Agni Pratap Singh Rathore. I'm an architect from down in Jodhpur. So after a hustle of almost 11 years, so I came back from Delhi. Jodhpur and I run a firm by the name of Architect Design Estate. So started off my practice in Delhi and I extended the local established.
Welcome. Now you.
Am I audible?
So I'm working.
नमस्ते सभी को. मेरा नाम पारिशा चौहान है और मैं आयोजन की पुरानी विद्यार्थी हूँ और मेरी कंपनी का नाम ब्लू कोरल डिजाइन स्टूडियो है और मैं बेस्ड आउट ऑफ जोधपुर हूँ. थैंक यू सो मच.
मेरा नाम काव्या साहगल है. मैं उसी विद्यालय पढ़ने से मैं काव्या साहगल आपके
Okay, so just a fun background. I am also from Arjun. I did my studies back in 2006. So, with respect to these people, I'm a little bit patient, but taking the lead today. So, we have designed this talk into 3 sections. The first one being design practice, because looking at the current design scenario, when people come out from college and then eventually they will come to practice, there are many hindrances, many kind of ideas are not followed. So, starting with you, Agni, the first question would be to you. How do you reconcile this inner pull between passion and the practicality of your practice?
I would rather say, there's a very thick line which is drawn between passion as well as sustainability. Sustainability of your own, not just practice. So once and for all, you enter the field and you face all these consequences, you face such clients and such environment where you actually feel the need. Either you have to sustain yourself, go to commercial practice, do whatever people all around are doing, or you need to follow your passion, because with passion there comes a lot of challenges. So I would personally say that this is quite evident with all the students who are getting into the field. Either they are As in, like, doesn't matter what kind of clients you're facing, doesn't matter what kind of toxic work environments you're actually in. But say it's me, if all your clients are saying that you have to design X, Y, Z things, and at least for valuation, say 50 lakhs or something. So you have to find your own creative niche, and at least you have to deliver whatever things are said.
So a designer can always put a little bit of themselves wherever.
Yes. So again, doesn't matter whatever your budgets are following, doesn't matter what kind of clients you're getting, but at least once your project is on floor and at least it's in showcase, you can yourself highlight. Nowadays, you have social media, Instagram, and everything. Just to get visibility. In the earlier days, it was just word of mouth. Now it is both. So yes, I would say doesn't need to go into follow everybody's else's footsteps. Yes, whatever things you have in person, whatever environment you are getting, just clap to it.
Okay. So coming to you, Gaurav, how do you draw this line which you spoke of between architecture as an art and architecture as a business?
Good ma'am. Architecture as an art, if I say, suppose we are not designing only buildings, we are also designing lifestyle for clients, maybe airport or residence, commercial buildings. So I think I think we should keep in mind the basics of the design. Suppose अगर हम एक घर बना रहे हैं, फैमिली बैकग्राउंड क्या है, उनकी कल्चर कैसा है, ना what are they following, उनका लाइफस्टाइल क्या है, उनके जो हार्मनी एंड फ्लो के अंदर अगर वो रेसिडेंस बनेगा तो उनका लाइफस्टाइल और बेटर हो जाएगा. तो और उसके बाद आता है मैम जो आपने सेकंड पार्ट का बिजनेस तो उसका एग्जीक्यूशन कैसे होगा, वो एक एग्जीक्यूशन का पार्ट आ गया है. तो एग्जीक्यूशन के पार्ट में अपना जो मैनेजमेंट है फ्रॉम स्क्रैच फाउंडेशन से लेके करंट सिलेक्शन तक वो कैसे मैनेज होगा, कैसे फ्री फ्लो में चलेगा, उसका बजटिंग कैसे होगा, क्लाइंट का बजट है वो कितना कैसा रहेगा. सो उस सबको ऑर्गेनाइज करते हुए बहुत सारी बीच में हर्डल्स भी आती हैं, कॉम्प्लिकेशंस भी आते हैं, हम उसको कैसे रिजॉल्व करें, ये चीज़ धीरे एक्सपीरियंस के साथ आएगी जो हम अपने सीनियर से लेते हैं. हमने वर्किंग के प्रैक्टिस कर रहे हैं सालों से, तो उसका जो एक्सपीरियंस है वो धीरे धीरे आता है. तो आई थिंक ये जो है उसको आप दोनों को उसको कंपोजिट करके कर सकते हैं.
So you keep creativity for the design aspect and you keep money for the management.
Yes.
Good idea. At least you can have both.
Yeah.
Now, if I ask you, Kavya, like for you, like same thing, like if architecture is primarily a business model or it is a personal expression or you could have both.
So I think architecture is always a mix of both expression and the business model because one cannot go without the other. So in terms of expression, I think architecture put their values, put their principles inside their designs. But I think that is very short-term. We don't have the business model behind it to support it long term. So architecture, the creative part lives through the business part. The longevity comes from the business part. But I think the business part would become so less if there is no creation in that.
Very well spoken and very well put, I must say. Wonderful.
Yeah, I think that's the gist of it. What should I think I would like to conclude this one in the sense that a business should be run in a sense which can project your creative.
Very nice. So, I think we summed it up for everyone. Now, Parisha, I think you are the youngest one in the group. So, and of course, it comes out when a young architect starts his or her practice. They mostly feel the burnout of creativity, especially when it becomes, it's a studio culture also. Sometimes you're practicing with somebody else, even in your own studio. Have you ever dealt with such a thing, or if there is any thought of which you have on this?
See, sometimes there's limitation because of maybe the client or the requirement or the context. But the one thing that I always practice is I always whenever there's that burnout that I feel, I always look back to why I chose architecture. I think that is what fuels the rest of the process. So it's really important to find creativity outside the studio, maybe maybe music or traveling or art or whatever you're interested in. Because if you only think about the design, it will get monotonous and you will definitely feel the burnout creeping in way sooner than it should. So just keep those creative juices flowing. That's, I think, the only
That
way to
is an
sustain in this.
interesting way. Like when things get toxic, get other materials. Bahar se music le aao. That could work, but good idea. So, coming to you, Ravi, I'm sure you're also working with other creatives in your own office, and there must be a dialogue between the seniors and the juniors, and sometimes that interspersion also becomes an issue. So, do you think that communication makes it genuinely productive?
या नेसेसरी मतलब मुझे लगता है कि सुनना बहुत जरूरी है चाहे वो आप अपने क्लाइंट को सुनो या अपने जूनियर्स को सुनो या अपने सबऑर्डिनेट्स
Are you married?
या वो सीख लेता है शादी के बाद वो सीख लेता है पेशेंस सबसे बड़ा फैक्टर है when you listen कुछ सुनते हो तो आपको कुछ मिलता ही है ऐसा नहीं है कि आपको नहीं मिलेगा yes there are many times they maybe my subordinate maybe my assistant is not correct technically but he or she is approaching something that is to be praised approach होना बहुत जरूरी है अगर approach ही उसकी खत्म कर दी जाए तो that is very necessary कि approach अच्छी है we will accept and move forward and we will also like to know the lines कि देखो कुछ भी ऐसा भी किया जा सकता है ऐसा भी हो सकता है that is need to
Very nice. It's a rarity coming from a senior that they actually listen to their office staff. So coming to you, Diwakar, how would you say like a healthy studio culture? Because I believe you have a design studio here in Jodhpur. How would a healthy studio culture look like in 2025? And what do you think we should unlearn to get there?
Hi, good evening. I think as Ravi rightly summed up, healthy studio starts when you start listening to people. The moment you are the lone wolf playing in the studio, it is not at all healthy. So one definitely needs to listen, and also for the healthy studio, we need to nurture new talents. We need to nurture young minds. So when you have 10 people in the studio, there are 10 brains working on a same idea. That is achieved from like let's say different means, but to have 10 brains working on one design solution, I think will probably get us at the design culture. And then I think those night burners are not at all required as of now with technology and all that you're working on. So the night burning is not at all required as of now. Plus, I think we in a studio practice, light music, sometimes heavy music, chai breaks. The feeling and the sense of designing something collectively will eventually lead us to creating a healthy design studio.
That's a very creative expression, but I don't believe in not burning the midnight oil. Sometimes it works better.
Ethos is your ancient.
Yes, I am going. Yeah, but it just truly comes out that no one can work alone. We have to work in creative way, in collaborative way with our seniors, juniors, clients, and listening to them as well. So we have a section two, which is on collaborations, which is a new term coming on when many studios are collaborating on bigger projects, and they are seeing it as a good culture where two independent practices bring their best, and together they create something which is better than what they could have done alone. So, starting with you, Kavya, do you think that architects are becoming more open to sharing credit, which was not the case earlier? I can be very open about it. And then if they are becoming more open to sharing credit, and they're also open to learn from each other, what do you think?
Oh, definitely. I think, firstly, I think the architects should realize that architecture is a huge profession, vast profession. I think Renzo Piano said that to become an architect, you would need 150 years because the
first 75 years you would just be learning architecture. So we as architects, we as designers have realized that in this huge field, we need collaborations. The idea of a star architect is kind of going away and collaborative. This thing is getting more included. So definitely collaborative work is happening. For example, recently we had Krishnamurti with us in Jodhpur, for design studio. And he was telling us he did a sculpture, fish sculpture for architect B.V. Doshi. So a guy doing parametrics in Mumbai was consulted by architect B.V. Doshi in that sense. So collaboration is making all the bringing all the experts together is I think beneficial for just not an individual but for the fraternity as well as a whole. Because with specific niches we have right now, we can focus on our niches and have experts, have talent with different experts, where collaboration makes everything better in a way.
With expertise, you can add layers to your own design practice. Yes. Now, Diwakar, do you think these collaborations will reduce the hustle or they just reshape it?
Definitely reshape it, because without collaborations, the hustles, the deadlines, the design management, the client calls. But with the new collaborations, the hustle actually reshapes itself, and it's a new form of hustle. Where you have more phone calls, where you have more design coordination, where you need to get the designs and drawings, approved internally and then present to the client. So I think the hustle will always remain. The hustle is there to stay. We are only reshaping it, and we are only managing it professionally.
And Agni, do you think that workspace setups and communication structures will influence this design journey? How we have offices right now, the setups which has a lot of influence coming from maybe AI, maybe from external things and all, and the way we are working right now. Do you think all this is going to influence the way we work?
See, man, if you talk about workspace, so again, for a typical architectural firm, I would say workspace is extremely important. The layout, the spaces have to be expressive, communicative, as well as you need to have some focus-based zones also for your individual thinking. So if you want to collaborate also with someone, so at least bringing back the old point, if you're not able to collaborate, you have to work for 1 to 2 projects in a real world scenario. And yes, if at all you don't have a very interactive space or with very negative mindset, you go by the materials, the layouts, it directly affects your design process. And coming back to all these softwares which kind of eases our design process and all. Like if you can mention the use of AI, have projected one render, and nowadays what people are doing, they're multiplying the renders, they're changing the wall patterns and everything. Yes, I would say if I take 3 days to complete one design, the 3 options, I'll take just one. Right. So again, it's a boon, it's a blessing in disguise. But yes, that creative thought, that labor intensive work hours on your schedule and everything, all those needs to be there. It can be a blessing, but it can be you can say you're hustling less. It can't be we cannot label it as smart work. Those additional arts, those additional design inputs, once and for all you set your sketch code or your software or whatever. So that needs to be there. People are taking undue advantage of it, I would say.
We have old school here, okay? It's not just me. Okay, so coming to you, Parisha. You have a very your own individualistic way of design, which you portray. So you are one of the designers who has their own style of doing things. Now, if I speak to you in terms of collaboration, how do you see it happening with you and your design practice? How do you think it can happen?
I feel that using sustainable materials or maybe climate responsive techniques of architecture, that's something that attracts me more. And I'd like to, if explore those architects who are into this practice. Like, I would have been grateful if I would have met architect B.V. Doshi, but I really admire his work and his ideologies. And that is the kind of work I like to do.
That is wonderful. So, coming to Ravi. So, like, with collaboration, there are multiple things that can be done. It could be a simple peer review also. So, if you get to choose, like, who would be on your shortlist amongst us for a peer review or a collaboration?
Firstly, I'd like to collaborate with you.
Thank you.
Rest of are my fellow members, so I can collaborate with them any time.
Yes.
But what I see as a collaboration is you have opened your experience center to others.
Yes.
And others who have started entering others' world of experience. So when two people collaborate on a same project, this may have two results. First, बहुत कुछ अच्छा निकलेगा. Depends your both ideologies, both mindsets, and both your way of creative designs are going on the same path. Secondly, it may be a hustle, it may be a tough process. Maybe the other one is not listening to you, maybe the other one is not getting you. Or maybe I or maybe who is collaborating.
That is part of every process. Yeah. But you do listen.
Yeah. I have learned this from my wife.
Yeah. Is she here?
No, she is not.
Okay. Okay, but it's good to know that there's a positive environment for collaborations, because the reason of me keeping this question specifically in tier 2 cities is so that practices can come together and they can go for bigger goals. So,
I'd like to add something on this collaboration.
I was about to ask you only. Wait. So, coming to Jodhpur, that is my question to you, okay? Do you think this culture of collaboration needs to get stronger and more design intensive with respect to your city? Is it required?
I personally feel that the city is growing and is growing rapidly. And in order to cater the needs of the city, collaboration is the need of the hour. Because a individual studio cannot hold all the aspects to it. Let's say there is a lake project. We need some perfect landscape architect who can do designing the landscape, the view tools, the rendering process. And each and every studio doesn't hold those many capacities. But we have friends and fellow architects who expertise in such stuff. So collaboration is, I think, the way forward. And with collaboration, we can actually grow together and learn together and probably build a better city.
Okay, wonderful. I hope in future all of you come together and build something great for your city, and I will come to see it. Okay. So, taking this conversation ahead, the reason I am here. So, my work is based out of Udaipur. Of course, we are also a commercial design firm. We do great. We do a lot of projects, but there is a small focus on sustainability, where we are incorporating a lot of natural materials into the projects that we do. It might be just 20% of the design practice, but still I have a conscience to say, okay, something is going in the right direction. And since today I'm here sitting with the young minds, it is my duty to shape it in a way where they can also, at least one of your project goes in a thought process where you are not harming the planet, where you are doing something which is giving back to people. I would love to sow that seed today, and with that intention, I came here to take this panel, and of course for the coffee which is here. So this was supposed to be a coffee with Priyanka, and we do have a coffee hamper in the end, and there will be a rapid fire which these guys do not know about. So now, moving on to the next section, which is about sustainability. It is about the responsibility we carry as designers to shape our cities and shape the tomorrow which we are going to leave behind. So, Diwakar, can Indian cities be shaped through collective design intelligence rather than pure bureaucracy? As you are working with government, we would would like to have with you from you.
I think yes, that can be done, and I'm sure that people amongst the seniors are definitely doing that, working with the government. I probably envision a space where the design process is not, packed in files and moving from table to table. It should be a design process which move across minds, and then we can, derive to a certain conclusion. Our cities probably should not be, imposed on us. It should be constructive amongst us. There should be designs probably which we want that way should the pathway look like. We should have community spaces. We should have, let's say, parks, development areas. But somewhere as a fraternity we lack in that. There is a collective consciousness need to be, awakened, where we collectively can go approach the government, ask them to do, and probably partner with them.
The dialogue should shift from we should have to we will have and we must have.
Definitely we
That
must
is how
have.
it should go. Okay, so Gaurav, what does climate responsible design mean to you today beyond the checklist?
Obviously, if we talk about climate responsive design, we can't design a house in Jodhpur which is inspired from Kashmir. The climate over is there, is different. It's hot and dry climate over there. There is too cold. So the roof style, the architecture style, the materials are used. They don't justify with our environment. Suppose I'm not against glass, but we use big windows, big glasses. Even in cars, we are using sunroofs. I think this is from Western culture that they are very cold buildings. They need heat gain. And our tradition was small windows, charotas, jalis. Jali was providing thermal effect that was influencing airflows, increasing the speed of airflow. So, although we are using modern materials, and also if we say we should at least have essence of that our culture, our climate, which is viable for our climate. So this is very important for us.
Nicely said. Now, Agni, how do you convince clients to embrace sustainable materials and long-term thinking?
I mean, talking about the regional influence, itself I talk about Jodhpur. So, the word itself, the sustainable word, it's very controversial. People, firstly, they're not aware of the elaborate term, the meaning of that word. So, they have this direct thought in their minds, like, it's an additional incentive to the project, it won't last long. And sustainability and sustainability in other कुछ भी चल रहा है यार. So that is the first notion which comes in the client's mind. So again, like, you have to be very elaborative. You have to sit with the client, align your thoughts with, and maybe just get into that practice. Like you have to see the adaptive use of it, the long-term viability, the return of investment. If let's say we talk about developers, it's a direct cost, and once and for all, they sell.
So you mold them throughout the process.
Yes, because that session needs to be there. That exposure of that client, whosoever they might have traveled to a number of countries and all, but they themselves lack the knowledge. Whatever is
Very nice.
they're using it.
I'll take the same to Ravi now. So, as he said, sustainable is a controversial word. And the opposition word would be having a tech forward home. That is what the mindset is. Do you think they can go hand in hand or they're opposites of each other?
They are opposites of each other, I think so. A tech home cannot be a good flavor with my parents and clients having some old knowledge. Maybe yeah, we are living in an era that we have seen telephone from dialing even to the now mobile phones we are using. Maybe in the future we are using iPhone, like talking with the eyeglasses. Yes, हमारी जनरेशन को बहुत कुछ देखना है और देखना है. लेकिन tech home, by tech home we do think that a fully automated house and is a tech home. I don't think so. Is a tech home. Tech home and sustainability can be together at that point. जहाँ comforts and pleasures are combined in each other with sustainable materials, with green
have smart homes.
Yeah.
Where both things can coexist. Now, one question is to Parisha. As sustainability sometimes is equated with slowing down. So, do you think it is a form of sustainability? Also, can it be a reflection of design tool also?
I don't think slowing down is luxury. I think it's very necessary sometimes because when you design something, you obviously have to observe the client, the context, the site, the materials, and to observe, you have to slow down. You can't observe and design accordingly if you are always in a rush.
Wonderful, very nicely said. Now, as it's the time to wrap things up, but the rapid fire remains. Quickly, Kavya, if you could summarize whatever we discussed today, and any takeaways you guys have.
Very daunting task. I think to sum it up, I would say there's a question which ties all of this together, which is how to develop healthier and better ways, better architecture culture. I think, and I think the gist of this would be that architecture is a marathon and not a sprint. So, as like Sir said, I think all of our conversations were going towards the collaborative part of things, where individual hustle is slowly shifting towards the collaborative. And however, and I think that the collaborative is not just helpful for the individual, not just helpful for the fraternity, but I think it has the potential to give back to the community, which you know about. So definitely a very fun, a very fun conversation.
Chalo, rapid fire आ जाओ. You cannot be on it because there are reading questions. Okay, guys, have the mics in your hands, please. Fatapat answer. You'll collaborate, and can you be quick at that? Necessity.
Sure.
So each one question comes, and you take more than a second. I go shoot another one. Okay. So Diwakar, Calatrava or Korea?
Korea.
Ando or Zunthar?
Sorry?
Ando or Zunthar? Okay. Parametric or vernacular?
Vernacular.
Jodhpur or Chandigarh? Curves or straight lines?
Curves.
Yeah! I don't have to ask you, but glass or stone?
Stone.
Next again to you. Hand sketching or digital?
Hand sketching.
Yeah, you all can answer too. Feelings can come out. It's alright. Big team or a large team?
Big.
Oh, big or lean, sorry. I missed that.
Yeah. For sure.
Earthy or bold colors?
Earthy.
Favorite building in India?
LIC building.
A material you cannot live without?
Good.
Yeah. One word for a design style?
Revenues?
Wonderful.
Okay.
One project you wish you had designed?
Rathore.
Very nice. Sustainability as a belief or a compulsion?
Compulsion.
Coffee or chai?
Chai.
Okay, we have coffee. So, this is summing it up. It was just a playful way to end the conversation. करें या नहीं करें एक और rapid fire? Audience? Audience के साथ? तो audience साथ साथ बोल सकती है. अब आवाज किसकी ज़्यादा है? माइक वालों की या audience की वो देख लेते हैं. That will also do.
And if they're not answering in 2 seconds, then you can raise your hand. 2 seconds only take it. That's what rapid fire is. Alright? But raise your hand, then answer it. First raise your hand, then answer it.
She's changed it. Marble or granite?
Marble.
तुम्हारा competition audience है. सबकी मिला के. Okay? Quick drafts or perfect details?
Perfect details.
Hand drawing or 3D render?
Hand drawn.
होती किसी से नहीं है. बोलना सबको है. किसने बनाई last hand drawing बताना जरा. एक बताओ किसने बनाई last. बड़ी बातें.
Just sketches. Rough sketches.
Okay. Solo thinking or team brainstorming?
Team brainstorm.
Residential or commercial?
Residential.
Luxury or budget friendly?
Luxury.
Luxury but vernacular.
Yeah. Spontaneous ideas or planned concepts?
Spontaneous.
Brand concepts.
Spontaneous ideas.
ओके काम होना चाहिए कैसे भी हो फेवरेट मटेरियल टू वर्क विद
Stone.
गजब
Being in Jodhpur is stone.
उदय भी से
I think Parisha has one Priyanka, she's answering. That's okay.
Because I have the mic.
That's one point.
That is girl power. It's partial.
बिल्कुल नहीं।
Okay, so the audience will say,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
anyways, last three
Yeah.
questions.
Yes.
Okay.
a trend you want to end
Modernism.
I don't want to say.
you want to say don't know why
Great commercial building service.
one thing you refuse to compromise किस clients हैं यहाँ पर
Luckily, no clients.
local craft or imported luxury
Local craft.
okay I think
Diwakar is the winner. What do you say, Gaurav?
Yes.